In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an Experience Cloud site using Claude Code. Quick heads up, in order to accomplish this, you'll need a Claude paid plan. The free version of Claude Code won't get you through this. This tutorial also assumes that you've already set up Claude Code in VS Code and that you've already connected your Claude Code to your Salesforce org. If you haven't done either of those things, pause this video and do that now. There's a ton of videos online that explain how to do this. You can even ask your Claude desktop or ChatGPT on instructions on how to do this. So what we're going to build in this video is a basic Experience Cloud site for a fictional company called Bank of Frank. The site will have two pages, a home page and an about page, and Claude Code is also going to create a few Lightning Web components for us, components that we'll be able to drag and drop directly inside the Experience Builder. So we're going to do almost no clicking inside Salesforce Setup. The bulk of the work is going to happen through the prompts. So to start, we're in VS Code. We're going to navigate to the terminal. Before we do anything else, make sure you're in a directory that's exclusive for this project. So I'm going to repoint mine to a different folder that's specifically for this Bank of Frank Experience Cloud site. If you don't have a folder yet, create one. And then once you set that new folder up, just repoint it via this terminal using the command I used here. All right, so in the command line, we're going to type in Claude. Of course, I misspelled it, Claude. I'm actually going to expand this a little bit. All right, so before we ask to build anything, let's make sure that Claude Code knows we have a Salesforce org connected. I'm going to type in list the Salesforce orgs. So list the Salesforce orgs I'm currently authenticated to and tell me which one is the default. So we get this message that this command requires approval. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes. So I have 7 authenticated orgs and it tells me that I don't have a default setup. So in my next prompt, I'm just going to type in the alias of the org, which is Claude Experience Cloud Build, and I'll click enter. And then again, it says this command requires approval. For the sake of this video, I'm going to actually select the second option, yes, and don't ask again. Okay, so now that we've done that, now this org is now my global default org. So any changes I make in Claude will be done directly to that org. Now, before I do any more prompting, let me navigate to my Salesforce org. So to reduce my token consumption, I'm going to do a few manual things in my org. The first is to enable digital experiences. So in the quick find box, search digital, and then under digital experiences, click settings. And then we're going to enable digital experiences and then click save. Click OK. This is all we'll need to do in Salesforce for now. So I'll navigate back to VS Code. All right, so now that we're back in VS Code, now we're going to type out the main prompt. We're going to keep it simple for now, and then we'll refine it as we go. So the first prompt is create an Experience Cloud site in my default org, a fictional company called Bank of Frank. I know, original. And then click enter. Again, one of the great things about Claude Code is it always asks for approval. There's certain settings in the background where you can make these approvals less frequent. Again, I'm going to select number 2, yes, and don't ask again. So right now, Claude is saying that it found the folder that I've designated for this project. I'm going to select option number 2 again, yes, and don't ask again. Again, option number 2. Again, because this is supposed to be a simple tutorial, I don't want to spend too much time going into the details. So for the purposes of time, I'm going to select number 2 again. For the most part, I'm just going to keep approving. So as you can see, I'm being prompted, which Experience Cloud template should I use for Bank of Frank? Before I select any of these options, I'm just going to scroll up. So as you can see, starting at number 1 right here, there's a plan that Claude Code has outlined. Create the Bank of Frank Experience Cloud site. So it gives you the steps that it followed. It created the site. It recommends the build your own template. So I highly recommend that you read all the steps that it outlines for you. If we keep scrolling down, it tells you what it's not doing in this step. So it hasn't created any custom LWCs for our Experience site yet. It hasn't created the About page, and it's not publishing or activating the site. And it also shows some of the manual setup that it's checked. So it checked that digital experiences was enabled because that's what we did a few minutes ago. It also checks for the domain. So again, back to the question, we're going to select number 1, build your own. For the URL path, I'm going to select number 1 as well, Bank of Frank. And then finally, it asks, ready to submit your answers. I'm going to select number 1. So again, we're getting another approval check. I'm going to select number 2. Again, another approval, also selecting number 2. Oh, look, another approval. We're also going to select number 2 for this. So you can see right here, site creation kicked off, and it shows the job ID. Again, we're presented with another approval. I'm going to select 2 again. All right, so another approval. You guessed it, we're selecting 2. And while that's processing, I'm actually going to show you, this is the Bank of Frank folder that I had created. So you can see as Claude Code has been processing the prompts, it's been creating and updating files within this project folder. And again, we're prompted with another approval. I'm going to select number 2. And I just want to point out that the reason I keep selecting number 2 is because this org is a free developer org. It's not a client org. It's not something important. So it's really just a testing thing. If this was an actual company org, you should definitely look into each of the things that you're approving. So I'm going to select 2 again. All right, so it's finally finished running. I'm going to scroll up. So it gives you this done message and it says, here's where things stand, what landed in the org. So we have the site name, the template, network ID, custom site ID, experience bundle, and status. Here's what landed locally in that folder we set up. If we keep scrolling down, it flags 2 things for us. I'm not too concerned about either of these right now, just given the fact that any issues that I typically run into in Claude Code, you typically just keep prompting to resolve them. So if we keep scrolling down, you'll see that it says to see the site right now, go to org setup, quick find all sites, and then the Bank of Frank site should be listed there. So that's what we'll do right now. So I navigated back to Salesforce. I'm going to click refresh. And as you can see, we went from no sites to the Bank of Frank site. We'll click on Builder. We'll click OK. All right, so right now we're looking at a blank home page. You're probably thinking, great, Claude Code didn't work at all. Well, it's because we're not done. All right, so I'll navigate to components. And if we scroll all the way down, you'll see that there's 2 new custom components. We'll first drag the hero banner. Bank of Frank, banking that works for you. Pretty neat. I'll navigate back to components again, and then I'll drag the feature card over underneath. So as you can see, there's not much to this component, but you can always iterate and improve this by prompting Claude Code. So to save this, I'm actually going to publish. Click publish. Click got it. And then I'm going to exit out. So let's navigate back to VS Code. I'm just going to be blunt. I don't like the feature card LWC make with more features. All right, so that's done processing. We're going to navigate back to Salesforce. I'm going to refresh this page. Click on Builder. All right, so everything still looks the same. If I click on Components and scroll down, there's this new Bank of Frank features. I'm going to drag that above the original features. It looks a lot nicer than the original one. So because this project took a lot longer than I anticipated, we're not going to build the About page. We'll stick with just this home page. But as you can see, we've built 2 custom Lightning Web components, 3 if you count the one that's not that great down here. And we did all of this by just prompting Claude Code. Not only did Claude Code build these Lightning Web components, but it also deployed them as well. So again, there's more that you can do with this, but for now, this is where I'm going to stop. So I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about how I went about doing this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.